Hi everybody, it's Matt Carter. In this video I'm going to explain the truth about keyword research and how to do this properly. A lot of people get keyword research wrong, and it's a real shame because if you get keyword research wrong it can be a big problem down the track once you get your website up and running and start doing your SEO on it. If you chose the wrong keywords at the beginning, you're really probably not going to make a lot of money, or it might take a lot longer than you thought to make money. So you really want to get it right. I'm going to help you do it. I've spent a lot of time with keyword research over the years. Sometimes I've done things wrong and I've learned and I've refined it down to a system that works well for me and Terry, and I want to share that with you today. So what I'm going to do is a practical example to show you how to do it. I'm also going to, first of all, let me just get my points up on the screen. We're going to look at some myths. There's a lot of myths with keyword research. People just get it wrong, and it's not often your fault if you have listened to a lot of the bad advice out there, but there is a lot, so I'll explain what not to do. We're also going to look at a tool called Ahrefs, Market Samurai, and talk about authority and what that has to do with keyword competition. And then, of course, we'll do some examples. I'll do an example so you can see how I do it. I like to teach with examples. Any of the tools that I mention or Terry mentions in any of our videos in the SEO Experts Academy, don't worry about trying to write them down or take notes. Or what was that tool Matt said in that video and Terry said in the other video. All of the tools or URLs or anything that we refer to, we put in the resources section. I think we named it resources section or tools section. Just have a look. It'll be up on the menu there. Just have a look for it. And in every video we've got the related links that we talked about in that video, so that'll make it easier for you. So let's have a look at this first up and look at ignoring some of the myths. So I'll go over to Firefox and Google and do some examples now. Okay, so I'm over at Google. One of the most common myths that people tell you to do is put your keyword phrase in quotes. So if I'm in Google now, bad advice is to do this. Go, how to save marriage. Let's just go for that example. Put it in quotes and click search. Some bad advice is telling you to look at the amount of competing pages, as you can see up there, 3.4 million. It really doesn't tell you anything useful. It just tells you that that's how many web pages Google knows about that have used this phrase on that web page, and it's really irrelevant because all we're really interested in if we want to make money with this keyword is, can we get to the top of Google, at least the top half of the front page. So this big figure really doesn't tell us anything about the top half of the front page, so it's completely useless. We don't do that at all, so I don't encourage you to do it either. There's other variations of this which are slightly more, I guess you could say, advanced, but equally as useless. When you get this one all in title like that, and then search, then you're asking Google how many web pages have got this in the title, and it says, well, there's 209,000. It's still a pretty useless figure, even if you get taught when you do that, if it's under 50,000, then it's a green light, go for that keyword. It's completely useless because it doesn't tell me anything about the top half of the front page, which is really where you have to get your website. So you really want to start analyzing the top half of the front page. Analyze these web pages. Don't worry about all the rest of the 209,000 or 8,995. Don't worry about them. You just want to worry about the top half of the front page. So again, that's a pretty useless one. And another useless one really is this one, all in anchor. Slightly more useful. It tells you how many web pages Google knows about that have the anchor text, how to save marriage, in it. But again, it's not something that you want to focus on to help you make a decision on if a keyword is worth going after or not. So there's some myths that I highly encourage you to ignore because they don't really help you much. Getting to the front page of Google isn't going to make you money. It's getting to the top half of the front page of Google really is where the money starts to be made. So I highly recommend you don't do these techniques. So obviously I now need to equip you with what you do need to do. So first up, what I want you to do is get SEO Quake installed. It's a Firefox plugin, SEO Quake. Once you've got that installed, it can show you some useful information about a page straight away. And then just search for your keyword phrase without quotes like this. Just go how to save marriage. This is, if we're going to do the how to save marriage keyword phrase. This can be anything you want. How to meet. Well, you could put the dating niche as a pretty good one, like how to meet or I know one that's elderly people, elderly dating, or something like that. Elderly dating websites. Anyway, it doesn't matter what the keyword phrase is, that you just type it in and you're looking at the results. One thing that you do need to keep in mind, though, is you need to be viewing the results that you're looking at in Google as if you were in the United States. If you're trying to rank in the United States, then you need to look at the competing pages, the results here in the United States. Otherwise, it doesn't look right. But I'll explain how we do that in a little bit more detail in a minute. But let's just say that we're going to go after the keyword phrase elderly dating online, or I think an even better one would be senior dating online. It's a niche, not a bad little niche. Senior dating online. So if this is the phrase we're looking at, we need to do a little bit more analysis on it. So the first thing that I will do is go to a tool like Market Samurai, and I'll set up a new project and just put new keyword in there, and I'll paste in the keyword phrase like that and click update, and then I'll do the SEO competition on it like this. And Market Samurai goes and pulls back some information about this keyword phrase for me. I'll just pause the video while it does that. Okay, so it's brought about a whole lot of information here. The main things you want to look at are these columns here. PR, standing for page rank. The index page count is quite an important one, more important than people realize, I see. Backlinks to pages, most definitely. Those are probably the three important ones. And then this is your on-page SEO, which we will talk about in the Academy. If you don't have a clue about any of this stuff at the moment, then just go through the Academy once first, and then if you come back and do things again, it'll make complete sense. Sometimes you just need to put a few more pieces of the puzzle together and then come back and you can see the bigger picture of the whole puzzle. So what you really want to look at is, the first thing is, are the websites all PageRank 5 or above? And I mean, by 5 or above, I mean the home page. The first one, dating for seniors, is a PR4, so that's not a big deal, which is great. Then you got a PR3. The next one's a PR5. That's not great to see. PR4. So the other thing you want to look at is the backlinks to the page here. When it starts to get up above 100 or a couple of hundred, you're looking at a longer term strategy. You can get rankings for web pages that have got links in the thousands to the page, but it's going to take a lot longer. So if you want to get a quick result, you really want to be looking where the BLP, backlinks to pages, under 100. That's what I recommend. Under 100 if you want to get a result in a matter of a couple of months rather than having to wait 6 months plus. So that's the first thing you look at, backlinks to page. Now, the other thing that you need to know is the anchor text that is making up these backlinks. And again, if you don't understand what I mean by anchor text, then just go through the Academy once first, and then come back and watch this video, and it will be clear as crystal to you after that. But what you need to look at is, what is the anchor text that makes up these backlinks? Is it targeting this exact phrase, senior dating online, or is it targeting something close, most of them something close, or are they totally nothing to do with that keyword phrase? Because just by looking at the number of backlinks, we can't tell what the quality of these are, and by quality I mean the anchor text that makes up that backlink. So I'm going to go and show you another tool that I use, and then we'll come back here and I'll give you an overall summary of what you need to do. So this first site, Dating for Seniors, I'm going to open that up. I'm going to click it and it opens in Firefox. And I'll just take the URL. I just need to take from www forward. This is the site. And then I go to another tool called Ahrefs, and I whack it into Ahrefs. This is a free tool. You only need the free version. You don't need the paid version of this tool. And it looks at the anchor text of the backlinks coming into this page. So it tells me the quality of these links coming in. So all I do is go click on the Anchors tab. It's asking me to sign in. You have to sign in just to I've got a paid account, but you've got to sign into your free account. I'll just pause the video and do that. Okay, I just signed in. If I click Anchors, you can see that these are the anchor text that makes up the backlinks coming into this web page. So the majority of the backlinks, it just says seniors. We were looking at dating for seniors, but you can see there the next biggest amount of backlinks that they have, or the anchor text of their backlinks, is actually dating for seniors. So they are targeting that phrase, and they've even got the next, they've got seniors, which is embedded in this phrase. So they really have got probably relatively good backlinks and a lot of them coming in. So that's not a good sign. What you really ideally want to see is where the keyword phrase that you're analyzing is lower down on the priority list. Like if you see it like way down here, not even in the top 10, that's a great sign, or even in position 8. Then you know that they're not really heavily backlinking for this particular keyword phrase. Instead, they're probably backlinking, for other phrases that they're ranking for. So the lower down the priority list of the anchor text for their backlinks for this particular page, the better it is. But if it's high up like this one, then they're directly going after that phrase, which makes them a more, difficult person to outrank. So going back to Market Samurai, I look at this here, dating for seniors. They've got a pretty good domain. It's completely dedicated to dating for seniors. So that tells me another thing, that a lot of this content here of the 17,800 pages that they have indexed in Google, it's all going to be about dating for seniors. So really they're an authority. They're a massive authority on the topic of dating for seniors. They've got 17,000 plus pages all about dating for seniors. They're a page rank 4. It's not terribly high, page rank 4, but it's pretty good. And they have 9,000 plus backlinks to this particular page that's ranking, and a large proportion of those backlinks has the exact anchor text senior dating online. Just a quick note, if I flick back to Ahrefs, the numbers here don't matter so much. It's more the priority. I don't look at the numbers with Ahrefs because they might be different than Market Samurai. It doesn't really matter. All I'm looking at is the priority. 1, 2, 3. What's the priority for the page? So of that 9,000, a large amount of them will be backlinks with anchor text dating, senior dating online, because we saw back here, oh no, sorry, I got that wrong, dating for seniors. So senior dating online is actually senior dating. They've got it 4th there, which is still virtually the same phrase. Then they've got dating for seniors. So they haven't got the online anywhere in their keyword phrases. Sorry, I thought we were looking at dating for seniors, but the phrase is actually senior dating online. They do have senior dating, but they don't have senior dating online. So that's actually a good thing. They're not as difficult. A lot of these backlinks won't be anchor text with the exact phrase senior dating online. But what you need to be aware of when you're dealing with a website that is solely dedicated to a particular niche, like dating for seniors, they will have, and they've got such a large amount of content, they will collectively have a whole ton of backlinks to the domain. In fact, you can see it there, BLD. Almost 15,000 backlinks are coming into this domain. They will have a whole plethora, a whole variety of different anchor text coming into this domain, and all of it will be relating to dating for seniors. So that makes a website quite difficult to bump out of the way, even if they're not 100% backlinking for senior dating online. They've got so much content that is relevant on the domain that will be collecting backlinks for all different variations of keywords that are probably pretty close to senior dating online, that collectively all this relevant link juice, anchor text link juice, will help them rank in Google, and it makes them difficult to bump off. If you have a site that's more general, like just dating but not for seniors, then all of the content that they have won't be specifically targeting seniors. So if you were to develop a very tightly focused website, say about senior dating online, and you started to build that site out and got a lot of backlinks, then you'll find it easier to outrank a more general domain. But when you get these very tightly focused domains around the topic of, like all of these ones at the top here, senior match, senior friend find, senior dating, dating for seniors, all their content is relating to senior dating. So a lot of the backlinks, even if they're not 100% targeting the phrase senior dating online, collectively their backlinking and their content will make them quite difficult to bump out of the way, especially when they start getting a home page of 5 and above, which this one here does. The first three don't. So with this particular phrase, you could get this if you had a senior dating website with a decent amount, 20 plus pages, all about senior dating that you were backlinking, and I'll talk more about this in the next video. But it won't happen quickly because all of the backlinks to the page are pretty high. These are big authority sites, they're really high. Yes, they don't have exact on-page SEO done well over here, hence why it's all green, but they still do have a lot of authority on this topic, so you won't be able to outrank them really quickly, but you probably will be able to outrank them, after maybe 6 months, I would imagine, of backlinking for this phrase. Maybe a little bit less, depending on how much content you've got. You can see down here, this person here, Silver Fishing, has only got 120 backlinks to the page, but if you look at the content, they've got over 80,000 pages indexed in Google, which is a lot. They're only a page rank 2, so they're not a huge authority, but they do have a lot of content, and the overall backlinks to the domain is over 30,000, and it's all about senior dating. So they are a large site, and Google would consider them an authority. So even if they're only a page rank 2, they still have a lot of content. So that's what you want to start looking at. Some of the things you want to start looking at. Are they a website that is solely dedicated to this niche? And if they are, how big are they, and how much of an authority are they in Google by looking at the page rank and the amount of content indexed on the topic, and then looking at the backlinks. So ideally, what you want to see is under 100 backlinks to page if you want to get a result in under 3 months. If you want to wait a little bit longer, then you can start moving up to the 300-400 mark and start to rank pages. But if your website is not solely dedicated to the topic, if you've just got to say a dating site, not even about dating online or senior dating, but a more general dating site, then it's a little bit more difficult to outrank a very specific, tightly focused site like Dating for Seniors. You'll just take a little bit longer to outrank them. So you need to have tightly focused websites around the content of the topic, and then look at the backlinks to page. So what I'll do in the next video is I'll stop this video now so we don't run it too long, and I'll do another example of an easier keyword for you to target.